TIFU by sleeping with my brother's wife. I am having to alter some information as the wedding was very recent and my brother sometimes browses Reddit. I've been seeing this girl on and off now for about a year or two. She was super introverted and we met outside a Starbucks after I accidentally tripped her over and she spilt coffee all down the front of her. I ended up paying for her laundry. Things sort of progressed from there. So one day we decide to meet up at her place and she must have been hiding photos of her family and I'd been there before cause I saw a photo of her and a man in military uniform before she quickly dispensed of it. I had a few questions and she said he was deceased etc. I asked her questions about her late husband/boyfriend and she got really emotional and asked me to leave. Didn't see her again for another 6 months, run into her at the coffee shop again. She tells me she's been going there every Wednesday afternoon for the last month hoping to run into me. She starts apologizing for not telling me about her late husband and that it was still very recent to her. We end up back to what we were doing before, still very introverted, never had a date in our life outside of either of our places. Fast forward to last week, I haven't seen my brother for a few years. He got shipped out, we didn't really get along before that. He invites me to his wedding as a groomsman. We're fucking picking out suits and guess who walks in? Jane comes in and I am ready to introduce her to my brother thinking this might be an opportunity to progress our relationship. She doesn't even notice me until she's about to leave and I think she literally just shit herself. I don't think I am close enough to my brother who my mother believes is suffering from some PTSD shit. I've spoken to my dad about it and he reckons to just keep it to myself that he needs this now more than ever. I respect my brother even though he was always a fuckwit to me when we were younger, but this is really out of my comfort zone. I am secretly hoping she'll break down and confess to him herself. I don't even know how long they've been together and all I think of was that his fucking photo that day I was at her place. In love with my brother's wife. They've been married for almost a year, and together for 4. The whole time it's been very rough between them. He's controlling, jealous if she even talks to someone, and constantly putting her down. When they got married he wanted her to quit her job and get pregnant, but she refused. Ironically, he decided to protect her by having her work as an admin at my workplace, so that I could keep an eye on her. I had to escort her to work and back, and make sure she didn't get too close to any guys. Yeah, that backfired pretty hard since she and I started bonding about how crazy my entire family is. Anyway, he's been wanting to have kids for almost 3 years and she's been vocally against it this whole time. A few months ago, back in November-ish, it all came to a head. He threw out her birth control and started a huge fight. He was smashing things, screaming, threatening to kill her. Several of the neighbors called the cops. She locked herself in the bathroom and called me sobbing. I drove her to her friend's place that night and she's been there ever since. At first they were trying to reconcile, but she wanted counseling and he just wouldn't let up on the kid thing. He figured a kid would fix all the problems. My whole family hates her now. Her family lives clear across the country, and he alienated most of her friends, so I'm pretty much the only one who she can confide in. Although nothing sexual has happened, we've gotten really close. We spend hours talking in person or on the phone about everything and nothing. She admitted that she has feelings for me too, but we haven't talked too much about it. There's an opening coming up in May for a position in another state. My boss says that if I want it it's pretty much mine. I'm considering taking the job and asking her to come with me. I'm pretty sure she'll say yes. I really want to get away from this craziness and start over with her. It will tear my family apart though. My brother is the favorite son. I know my parents will disown me. My other brothers will do worse if they can get their hands on me. I don't doubt my extended family will stir up huge drama. I probably won't get to see my grandmother, which is the one person in my family who actually likes me, anymore. She's pretty old, so I don't know how long she's got. My brothers and I never got along at all growing up. My sister and I were the family scapegoats. Now, as an adult who's actually doing better and all the rest of them, I finally have a semi-decent relationship with them, and my family finally sees me as a real person. If I do this, I'll throw all that away. I don't want to hurt them all like this and destroy my family. But I'm not sure any of them would put their happiness on hold for me like this. It's all a big fucking mess. I just found out that my brother has been perving on my wife. Background: my brother has been staying with us since lockdown, after his university closed. He couldn't stay with our parents cause they just sold the house and moved to a one-bedroom apartment, and our sister lives in a different part of the country. He was the oops baby, so I hope that explains the age gap. My wife and I have a 5-bedroom home but currently don't have children yet. We decided to adopt 2 kids in our 40s, so we let him stay here. My brother has always been different. He's a bit of a loner and doesn't have a lot of friends outside of his online group. He's a shy geeky kid, but he's otherwise alright, or so I thought, when you get to know him. So here's what happened. The Wi-Fi doesn't quite reach my brother's room, so he usually does his schoolwork and other stuff in the dining room. A few nights ago, I was walking to the fridge after waking up in the middle of the night. Wife and I sleep early, and saw my brother working on something out, and as I got closer, I saw a very compromising picture of my wife, cleavage shot as she was gardening. He noticed me and quickly closed the window like he was watching porn. I was too shell-shocked to say anything at that time, and he just smiled awkwardly and ran to his room with the laptop. When I realized that something was up, I knew I had to find out. The next day, I asked my brother to pick up some groceries and some lunch for us, and while he was away, I went to his room, something I've never done since he moved, and, well, it wasn't pretty. I saw a couple of my wife's bras and some of her panties, which I can only assume he used to pleasure himself. I took his laptop and fuck it, decided to snoop. I knew his password cause I borrowed his Crunchyroll account to watch this anime my friend recommended. I don't usually watch anime. There I saw some of the most sickening entries I've read. There were pictures of my wife in a towel, her working out, her in compromising positions, etc. All taken without her consent by the looks of it. The fucker even logs every time he touches himself to the image of my wife. The creepiest part. He sometimes listens in on us when we have sex. My wife can be a bit loud, but we didn't think it would be a problem since his bedroom was in a different part of the house, guest bedroom. I left the room feeling like I needed a shower. It was absolutely disgusting. Now, I don't know what to do. I find myself fighting the urge to pummel him into next week every time I see him. I haven't told my wife yet cause I'm 100% sure she will feel violated and disgusted, so I want to find the best solution first before doing so. I so desperately want to kick him out, but he has nowhere else to go. Even if I do, what should I tell my parents? The truth? This will most likely break the family apart. I do plan on telling my wife soon, but if I do, I can almost guarantee she would want nothing to do with him and would never want to visit the family if he's around. I'm so fucking lost right now. Any advice will help. Still fighting the urge to beat my brother to a bloody pulp. Edit: if you're wondering, I did take pictures as proof. Small update: I told my wife. The Redditors who said I should tell her first before anything cause she was the victim were absolutely right. I'm giving her all the power to decide what to do about it. A lot has happened, but there are still things that need to be settled. Too long to add here and too incomplete to make a new update post. Hopefully we'll have everything settled tomorrow or the day after. I'll write the update once everything is settled and I calm down. No, I'm not going to beat up my brother, but I have thought about it. And to the people asking for the pics. You're disgusting. Hope the women in your life are proud of you. That's my wife, please have some respect.